Hello knitting friends, Shayna Billow here. In this video I would like to demonstrate how to work Ladderback Jacquard. Ladderback Jacquard allows you to work stranded color work that has long floats of color in the back without needing to catch your float using the stitch in color work that you are working. On the back here, you can see I have this column of stitches right here going up the back of the work. Essentially, when we work Ladderback Jacquard, we're creating a webbing of floats in the back of the work. I have here between my dark gray stitches 6 blue stitches. That is too long to carry a float from this stitch to this stitch, so we need to trap the float. Catching those floats along a wide expanse of flat fabric can sometimes create uneven tension or the carried color popping through to the front. With Ladderback Jacquard, we're creating here a structure, a netting of fabric that is self-contained in the back of the work. So here is my dark gray stitch. Here's another dark gray stitch. Right in the center of the 6 blue stitches, I have this knitted stitch in my carried color. So let's learn how to do this. The first step to Ladderback Jacquard is establishing your Ladderback Jacquard lines. Here I have a repeated pattern of every 7th stitch having a gray. I am going to put my Ladderback Jacquard column right in the center of the 6 blue stitches that are between these 2 gray lines. If you like, you can place a marker on the needle every time you have a Ladderback Jacquard column. Personally, I feel that having a marker on the needle and then working the Ladderback Jacquard is a lot to manage, so I'm actually going to put that marker just gently right here into the fabric of the knitting where the column will be. Let's establish our first column. This first step is to bring the working yarn to the front, and then the second step is to lift up the horizontal bar that's laying between these 2 needles right here onto the left hand needle from front to back. Now we have a stitch that's slanted towards the left. I'm going to knit that through the back leg. I'm working a make one left, essentially right there, with my working yarn in the front of the work. Let me show you that again. I'm going to take it out. I've gotten to the point where I'd like to establish my ladderback line, so I'm going to bring my working yarn to the front of the work. I'm going to lift up this horizontal bar that's laying between these 2 stitches right here onto my left needle from front to back, and then I'm going to knit that through the back to work a make one increase. It happens to be a make one left. If you prefer, you can do a make one right. I now have established my ladderback line right here. I then take my working yarn to the back of the work, and I'm ready to continue with my pattern as established. I've worked my first repetition of the pattern where I have my established ladderback line, a stitch in the dark color, and now I'm ready to establish my next ladderback line. So again, you move the yarn to the front of the work, lift up that horizontal bar onto the left needle to work a make one. In this case, I'm working a make one left, and you're working that in the carried color, and then you're going to bring the yarn to the back of the work again. The way this yarn has crossed over the ladderback line is how you establish that line in the back of the work. If everything else is happening in front of that line, it will not come to the front of the work. So the working yarn is crossing over the front of that stitch, thereby pushing it to the back. In addition, I'm just going to set a marker in here to remind me I have my ladderback line in this vicinity. And you're going to continue that everywhere that you need a line. All of my ladderback lines have been established, and each line has a marker noting where it is so I can keep my eye on it as I'm working. Again, that's optional, and if you prefer, you can put it on the needle itself just before, but again, as I mentioned, I think it'll be better a little bit out of the way. Now that we have these lines established, we are going to practice working the Ladderback Jacquard within the rounds. It's a little bit different than how we established them, and a little bit the same. You're going to work up to the spot where you have your ladderback line, and then you're going to bring your working yarn forward, so that is the same. Then you're going to bring your carried yarn, the float yarn, to the front as well, and purl the ladderback stitch. Then you're going to bring the carried yarn to the back of the work again, and the working yarn to the back of the work. So what we've done here again, we've purled this stitch, which is how we create that line in the back of the work, and we've done so with the working yarn in front of it. So as I go to knit this blue stitch here, I've knit this blue stitch, the yarn was in front of the gray, and now I'm knitting this blue stitch. It's pushing that gray stitch to the back of the work, and that's how the ladderback line is established without actually being connected to the fabric of the knitting on every single round. It's connected at the base of the ladderback and at the top. So right here and here is where that line is connected, and everything else is a webbing within the back. Let's do another one. We've come to the ladderback line. I'm bringing my working yarn forward, and then I'm going to purl the ladderback line with my carried yarn, with my float yarn, which I also brought to the front. After I've purled it, my carried yarn, float yarn goes to the back, and my working yarn then goes to the back, and I can continue. So every time you hit that ladderback line, the working yarn comes forward, you purl that stitch, so the yarn needs to be in front for that as well, then you move both yarns to the back again. And you'll see that blue here, my working yarn is crossing over the front of the ladderback stitch. If you forget to move that yarn to the front, what will happen is this ladderback stitch will pop forward to the right side. So keeping that yarn in the front of the work helps keep the ladderback stitch in the back. So you're going to work that technique, yarn to the front, purl the ladderback, yarn to the back, yarn to the back. You're going to repeat that every time you hit one of those ladderback lines on your project. I've worked the 4 rounds in my color that I wanted here, so we'll assume that my pattern is a repetition of these 4 stitch vertical lines. So now I'm ready to just work all in my blue and omit the gray. I can finish off my ladderback line. I don't need it anymore. To do that, you're going to work to the stitch just before the ladderback line. So this is my ladderback, this is the stitch before, and you're going to work a slip, slip, knit, decrease where both stitches are slipped knitwise. Slip, slip, insert the needle in, and knit the 2 together. And you'll notice just like that, my ladderback is tucked into the back of the work and decreased, so I no longer have that extra stitch. Technically on the needle right now, it looks like I have an extra stitch for every one of my 7 stitch repeats because of that ladderback. It's sort of a placeholder. So let me work up to the next one. Here we are. Slip like a knit, slip the ladderback stitch like a knit, insert the left hand needle into the fronts of the 2, wrap the yarn around, and come out to decrease. You can give a little tug in the back of the work if the ladderback stitch is trying to pop through, trying to sneak through a little bit. You can see here, after I've done that SSK, we no longer have that black ladderback stitch on the row. This is the marker showing where it had been on the front, and there it is on the back. Here's the fabric from the front. This is where my ladderback lines were, right between the gray. Here I can see a little bit of my gray. I'm just going to pull in the back. It's gone. and this is what it looks like on the inside. And what we're seeing are these floats that are caught in a stitch right here that was hidden in the back of the work. Happy knitting!